In the quiet corners of countless homes, nestled on a shelf, lies a simple yet profoundly powerful tool for spiritual protection: holy water. But here's the shocking truth. You might be using it all wrong. You've heard of its power to cleanse and protect. But could it be that, in your hands, it's doing little more than collecting dust? What if I told you that by misusing holy water, you might be missing out on the divine blessings and protection it's meant to offer? Why does this happen? Why do so many households, filled with faith, fail to harness the full power of this sacramental? The answer might surprise you, and it's been hiding in plain sight for centuries. In this video, we'll uncover the deep spiritual truths behind holy water and reveal why it holds the power to transform your home into a sanctuary of peace and protection. You will discover the 6 most common mistakes people make when using holy water, and how correcting these mistakes can unlock a world of divine protection. We'll dive into how to use holy water correctly, why intention and prayer matter, and how daily rituals can invite God's grace into every corner of your home. Imagine your home filled with peace, free from the tensions and fears that often go unnoticed. Imagine your family members, your loved ones, wrapped in the protective embrace of holy water, shielded from negativity and harm. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to make holy water a powerful, everyday tool for spiritual defense, bringing harmony and health into your home. So, let's begin this transformative journey. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you're ready to take the first step in creating a protected, blessed home, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spiritual insights. Your sacred journey begins now. Mistake 1. Not using holy water daily. There's a simple yet profound sacramental that many Catholics hold dear: a small bottle of holy water, often placed in a prominent spot in the home, meant to sanctify and protect. But here's the reality. How many of us actually use it every day? How many households have holy water collecting dust, forgotten and unused, when it has the potential to shield us from unseen dangers? In truth, the first mistake many of us make is not incorporating holy water into our daily lives. This is not just about superstition. Holy water is a tangible sign of God's protection, meant to be a tool of defense against spiritual forces, yet so often we fail to unlock its full power. Imagine for a moment that you're sitting in a room and you see a shield lying on the ground. It's a magnificent shield, forged to protect you, yet you leave it on the floor, unused. This is what happens when we keep holy water in our homes but fail to use it daily. We only tend to think of holy water during times of crisis, when stress, illness, or emotional turmoil strikes. But why wait until the storm comes? Why not hold up that shield daily? Pope Leo XIV, in his wisdom, once taught that holy water should be part of our everyday routine, like bread on the table. It is not just a tool to be used in times of fear or hardship, but a constant companion, protecting us from the unseen battles that rage around us. Spiritual warfare is not confined to moments of crisis. It's a daily reality, and so our spiritual defense should be as well. Let me share a story with you. A woman, a mother, once reached out to me with a story of transformation. She had been struggling with constant tension in her home, arguing, fighting, sleepless nights. No matter what she tried, peace seemed to elude her. After learning about the power of holy water and making it a part of her daily routine, something miraculous happened. Each morning she began sprinkling holy water around her home, praying the Our Father as she did so. At night, before bed, she repeated the process, and over time, her home transformed. The arguments ceased, the children slept soundly, and the tension dissolved. Her family began to feel more connected, more at peace, more protected. What had changed? The consistent use of holy water, a powerful sacramental, had unlocked its divine potential. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Spiritual protection is not something we activate only when there's danger. Just as we don't lock our doors only when we hear a threat outside, we shouldn't wait until spiritual danger is upon us to call on the power of holy water. We need to make it a part of our daily lives, like breathing in the morning air. So, how do we incorporate this practice into our daily routine? Start small. Each morning, as soon as you wake, take a moment to bless your home. Sprinkle holy water in the main areas of your home, focusing on the places where your family spends the most time. Do it with intention. Do it with faith. And as you sprinkle the water, pray. Let it be a prayer for peace, protection, and guidance. And at night, before going to bed, repeat the same process. The act of sprinkling holy water before sleep helps to cleanse the spiritual atmosphere of the home, preparing it for rest and rejuvenation. This simple, daily act of faith will not only protect your home, but will open the door for God's blessings to flow freely in your life. Spiritual protection isn't something that should only be activated during times of crisis. It should be a daily shield, an ongoing act of devotion, ensuring that peace is always present in your home. Mistake 2. Using holy water without prayer or intention. Here's another common mistake: using holy water mechanically without thought or prayer. This might sound trivial, but believe me when I say it makes all the difference in the world. Imagine you're about to send a letter. You have the envelope in your hand, but you forget to put the letter inside. The envelope is holy water, but the message, the power, comes from the prayer and intention you offer with it. Without that prayer, without that intentional heart, the holy water becomes just water. Holy water in itself is not magical. It's a sacramental, an outward sign of God's grace and protection, but its effectiveness lies not in the liquid itself, but in the faith of the person using it and the prayer that accompanies it. Pope Leo XIV, in his pastoral wisdom, often reminded the faithful that sacramentals like holy water work not by magic, but by the power of God, activated through our prayer and intention. Without prayer, holy water is just another object. It's the prayer that transforms it into a conduit for divine power. I want to share a story of a woman named Maria, a mother who felt overwhelmed by the stresses of life. She was experiencing constant anxiety, a deep sense of unease that she couldn't shake. She tried everything: meditation, relaxation techniques, even counseling, but nothing brought lasting peace. One day a friend suggested that she begin using holy water with prayer. At first Maria was skeptical, but she decided to give it a try. Each morning and night she would sprinkle holy water on her doorways and around her home, praying a simple prayer: "Lord, may this holy water be a sign of your protection. Cleanse this home and all who dwell in it from any negative influences. May your peace reign here." And as she did, something remarkable began to happen. Her anxiety started to fade. The tension that had once gripped her heart began to lift. Slowly but surely, peace returned to her home. The difference wasn't the holy water itself, it was the prayer, the intention behind it. The act of faith. Maria had turned her use of holy water from a routine action into a heartfelt expression of trust in God's protection. What is the lesson here? The power of holy water lies not in the water, but in the prayer, the intention, and the faith with which it is used. Prayer is the key that unlocks its true power. Every time you use holy water, remember that it's not just about the act itself, but about the faith and prayer you pour into it. Whether it's a simple Our Father or a short prayer for protection, make it intentional, make it personal, make it meaningful. Using holy water without prayer is like having a treasure chest and forgetting the key to unlock it. But when you pray, when you use it with intentional faith, it becomes a powerful tool in your spiritual life, bringing peace, protection, and blessings into your home. Now, as we reflect on these mistakes, neglecting to use holy water daily and using it without prayer or intention, remember this: these practices are not just rituals. They are tools of divine protection, meant to shield your home, your loved ones, and your heart from the unseen battles of the world. If we take the time to use them intentionally with faith and prayer, they can transform our lives. In the next part, we will explore the importance of blessing yourself before blessing your home. Just as a warrior don't face the battlefield unprepared, we must equip ourselves spiritually before we bring God's protection into our homes. Stay with me as we uncover the next step in this journey of spiritual renewal and protection. Mistake 3. Forgetting to bless yourself. Before we begin any journey, we prepare ourselves. Before a soldier steps onto the battlefield, he dons his armor. Before a runner takes off, she ties her shoes tight. But in the hustle of daily life, how often do we forget to spiritually prepare ourselves? How often do we skip the very first step, blessing ourselves with holy water? This simple yet powerful act is crucial. It is the shield we wear as we move through the day, defending ourselves from the subtle, unseen attacks that try to infiltrate our minds and spirits. Many people rush straight to blessing their homes, their spaces, their loved ones, without first taking a moment to bless themselves. They go about their day, facing the challenges and struggles of life, without the protective armor that is available to them. The truth is, we cannot protect others without first protecting ourselves. Our bodies, minds, and souls are the first temples we must safeguard before we can extend that protection to others. I think back to a moment in my own life when this lesson became painfully clear. I had been overwhelmed, anxious, and struggling to find peace. The weight of the world felt too heavy to bear, and despite my prayers and attempts at spiritual practices, I felt disconnected, lost. I remembered a friend once telling me, "Start with yourself, bless yourself first." It sounded simple, almost too simple, but desperate for change, I decided to try it. Each morning, I began dipping my fingers in holy water and making the sign of the cross on my forehead. As I did, I spoke the words, "In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." And at night, before I went to sleep, I repeated the same act. Slowly but surely, I began to feel a sense of peace that had eluded me. I wasn't just blessing my home, my family, or my surroundings. I was equipping myself with the strength to face the world with confidence, armed with God's protection. It was the beginning of a deep, spiritual transformation. This small but powerful act of blessing ourselves is a direct line to the peace and protection that holy water offers. It's not just about sprinkling water. It's about the intention behind it. It's about reminding ourselves that we are under God's care, that we are prepared for whatever challenges come our way. It's about inviting God's grace into our hearts, minds, and spirits before we enter the world. In the same way that we don't walk into battle unarmed, we shouldn't face our day without spiritual preparation. Holy water is a tool, simple yet powerful. It is a shield that can protect us from negative thoughts, temptations, and stresses. When we bless ourselves, we are consciously choosing to invite God's protection into our lives, preparing ourselves to stand strong against anything that may come our way. As Pope Leo XIV wisely observed, this practice isn't about perfection, it's about intention. It's about dedicating ourselves to God, acknowledging that we need His help to navigate the challenges of life. Each morning, as we dip our fingers in holy water, we are essentially putting on our armor for the day. And each night, as we bless ourselves once again, we are preparing our hearts and souls for rest, allowing God's peace to settle over us. So let this be your reminder. Don't forget to bless yourself first. Start your day with intention. Start with God's protection, and everything else will follow. The simple act of blessing yourself with holy water is a small step with profound spiritual significance. It's the armor you need to walk confidently in the world, knowing you are protected by God's grace. Mistake 4. Neglecting the entrances. Have you ever thought about the doors and windows of your home as more than just physical structures? In the spiritual realm, they are much more than that. They are the gateways to your sanctuary. They are the points through which spiritual forces, good or bad, enter and exit. Yet how many of us neglect these vital entryways? How many of us forget to bless the doors, the windows, the very places where the spiritual energy of our homes flows in and out? In the world of spiritual protection, we are taught that our homes are sanctuaries. They are places where we can find peace, rest, and refuge from the stresses of the outside world. But without proper protection, these sanctuaries are vulnerable. The doors and windows of your home are the gateways to that peace. And just like a fortress, if the gates are left unguarded, the enemy can easily enter. This lesson became real for me one evening when I visited a friend who had been struggling with family tensions. There was an unexplained heaviness in the air, an uneasy feeling that seemed to permeate every room. The house was beautiful, filled with love, but there was a spiritual unrest that couldn't be ignored. After talking for a while, my friend confessed that despite trying various methods of spiritual cleansing, the unease persisted. I asked her, "Have you blessed your doors, your windows?" She looked at me with a puzzled expression. "I've never thought of that," she said. We decided to walk through her house, beginning with the front door. I took a small container of holy water, and together we blessed the entryways. We prayed for peace, for divine protection, for all negative influences to be halted at the door. As we went from door to door, the tension in the air began to shift. It was as if the house itself was breathing a sigh of relief. By the time we finished, a profound calm had settled over the home. The energy had changed. The spiritual atmosphere had been cleared. And that night, my friend's family experienced the first peaceful night in weeks. What did we learn from this? The doors and windows are more than just entry points for the physical world. They are spiritual gateways. If we leave them unprotected, we leave our homes vulnerable to negative forces, both seen and unseen. In the same way that we lock our doors to keep out intruders, we must bless our doorways to keep out negativity, fear, and spiritual harm. Pope Leo XIV understood this deeply. He often spoke of how important it is to protect the entrances of our homes. These are not just physical thresholds, they are spiritual borders. When we neglect to bless them, we leave ourselves open to influences that can disturb our peace and disrupt the harmony within our homes. The solution is simple but powerful. Take holy water and bless each entrance, each door and window. Trace an invisible cross over them, saying a prayer like this: "Lord, may this doorway welcome only your peace and blessing. Let all negative forces be halted here. Through the intercession of your saints, guard this entrance and all who dwell inside." This simple act creates a spiritual seal, a barrier that protects your home from unwanted influences. It's like setting a watchman at the gates, ensuring that only good and holy things can enter. When you bless the entrances, you invite God's protection and peace into your home. You sanctify the spaces where your family enters and exits, creating a holy space for God's presence to dwell. Just as you wouldn't leave your physical doors unlocked at night, don't leave your spiritual doors unblessed. Your home is your sanctuary. Protect it, sanctify it, and keep it a place of peace. By blessing your entrances, you ensure that only the good can enter and the bad is kept out. So as you move forward, remember this: the protection of your home starts at the door. Each threshold, each entrance, is a powerful point of spiritual defense. Don't neglect them. Bless your doorways, windows, and all entry points, and watch how the peace of God fills every corner of your home. As we continue, we'll explore the next powerful steps in ensuring that your home remains a sanctuary of divine protection. From blessing your bed to protecting your loved ones, each act of faith is a layer of grace that will keep your home safe from harm. Stay with me as we uncover the next step in this sacred journey of spiritual renewal. Mistake 5. Failing to bless the bed. We often think of our beds as a place to rest our weary bodies, to sleep and recharge for the next day. But have you ever considered that your bed could also be a battlefield? While we sleep, our souls remain active, and in the stillness of the night, we become vulnerable to the unseen forces around us. Negative energy, stress, anxiety, and even nightmares can infiltrate our sacred space unless we protect it. Yet many of us overlook this vital act of protection, failing to bless our beds. Think about it. We spend nearly a third of our lives in bed. It's the place where we go to seek comfort and rest, but it's also the place where we're most vulnerable to spiritual disturbances. If we neglect to bless our beds, we are leaving that sacred space unprotected, open to negativity and unrest. Blessing our beds with holy water is a small but powerful act that brings God's protection and peace into the very place where we rest. A few years ago, I encountered a woman named Sophie who had been struggling with severe insomnia. For months, she couldn't sleep through the night without waking up in a cold sweat, her mind racing with anxiety and fear. She tried everything: medications, sleep therapy, relaxation techniques, but nothing seemed to work. One evening, she mentioned her struggles to a friend who suggested, "Have you tried blessing your bed with holy water?" Sophie had heard of holy water's power, but never thought to use it in such a way. Skeptical but desperate, Sophie decided to try it. That night, she dipped her fingers in holy water and made the sign of the cross over her bed, praying softly for peace, rest, and protection. "Lord, bless this place of rest. Let your peace guard me through the night." The very next night, something miraculous happened. Sophie fell asleep faster, and for the first time in months, she slept peacefully through the night. Her anxiety lessened, and she woke up feeling refreshed. What had changed? The simple act of blessing her bed with holy water had created a spiritual shield around her sleep. The lesson here is clear. Our beds, as sacred spaces where we find rest, deserve the same level of protection as the rest of our home. Blessing your bed is a powerful spiritual practice that invites peace, tranquility, and divine protection into your life. As we bless the space where we sleep, we invite God's angels to watch over us, ensuring that we rest peacefully and wake up rejuvenated, spiritually and physically. If you've been struggling with sleep, or even if you simply want to enhance the quality of your rest, make blessing your bed a regular practice. Each night before you sleep, take a moment to sprinkle holy water over your bed, say a prayer for protection, and trust that God will guard your sleep. This small act of faith will transform your nights into a sanctuary of peace. Mistake 6. Neglecting the vulnerable. Children, elderly, sick. In every family, there are those who are more vulnerable: children, the elderly, and the sick. These individuals, through their innocence or fragility, are particularly susceptible to spiritual influences, both good and bad. Yet, how often do we forget to bless them with holy water to protect them from negative forces? It's easy to think of holy water as something for our homes, our spaces, but we must remember that our loved ones, especially those most vulnerable, need that protection too. Children in particular are spiritual sponges. They absorb everything in their environment, the good and the bad, without the same defenses that adults have. The elderly and the sick, on the other hand, may experience physical and emotional struggles that make them more open to spiritual attack. These vulnerable members of our family need to be blessed with holy water regularly to ensure they are protected from harm and filled with God's peace. I remember a story from a woman named Maria, whose 6-year-old granddaughter was plagued by night terrors. The little girl would wake up crying, convinced she saw shadows in her room. Her parents took her to doctors, but no one could find a solution. Maria, feeling desperate, turned to prayer. One night she recalled hearing about the power of holy water, and she decided to bless her granddaughter with it. Before bed, Maria dipped her fingers in holy water and traced a small cross on her granddaughter's forehead, praying, "Lord, protect her from all evil, and let her sleep peacefully." The next morning, Maria received a phone call from her daughter, who said she slept through the night. No nightmares. The terror had vanished. This small act of blessing, a simple but powerful use of holy water, brought peace to Maria's granddaughter and restored harmony to their home. The lesson here is profound. We are called to protect those in our care, especially the most vulnerable. Blessing our children, the elderly, and the sick with holy water is a powerful spiritual act that shields them from negative influences and invites God's grace into their lives. Just as we would physically protect our loved ones from harm, we must also provide them with spiritual protection through holy water. If you have children, elderly parents, or sick relatives at home, make it a priority to bless them regularly with holy water. Each night before they sleep, trace a cross on their forehead or sprinkle holy water around them while praying for their protection. This simple act is a powerful way to show love and care for those you hold most dear. The power of faith in sacramentals. At the heart of holy water, and indeed every sacramental, lies the power of faith. Sacramentals are not magical objects, they are physical channels of divine grace. The power of holy water does not come from the water itself, but from God's blessing and the faith of the one using it. Sacramentals, including holy water, work through our faith and intention. It is through our connection with God that these sacred objects become powerful tools for spiritual protection. Pope Leo XIV understood this deeply. He often emphasized that the effectiveness of sacramentals depends not on the object, but on the faith with which they are used. Holy water, a simple and humble sacramental, carries with it the power to purify, protect, and sanctify. But its true power is unlocked when we use it with intention, when we approach it with faith and reverence. Without faith, holy water is just water. But when used with trust in God, it becomes a powerful shield that protects our homes, our families, and our spirits. I once met a man named James who had struggled with anxiety for years. Despite numerous attempts to find peace, he felt trapped in his mind, constantly overwhelmed by fear and worry. One day a friend suggested he start using holy water in his daily life, praying each time he used it. James was skeptical at first, but he was willing to try anything. He began blessing himself with holy water every morning, making the sign of the cross, and praying, "Lord, protect my mind and heart, and fill me with your peace." Within a few weeks, something remarkable happened. His anxiety began to lessen. The constant worry that had consumed him for so long started to fade. He attributed this transformation to the daily use of holy water, combined with his faith in God's protection. Holy water had become a conduit for God's grace, and it was through his faith that its power was unleashed. The lesson here is clear. Sacramentals like holy water only work when we use them with faith. It is our belief in God's power, our trust in His protection, that transforms these ordinary objects into powerful spiritual tools. Whether it's holy water, a crucifix, or the rosary, these sacramentals are means of connecting with God's grace, but they are only effective when used with faith and intention. If you want to experience the full power of holy water, approach it with a heart full of faith. When you bless your home, your loved ones, or yourself, do so with the belief that God is truly protecting and sanctifying. This simple act of faith will transform the way you see and experience the world around you. As we close this chapter, remember, the power of holy water is not in the water itself, but in the faith with which it is used. Sacramentals are gifts from God, tools that help us connect with His grace and protection. Let us use them with reverence, with intention, and with faith, knowing that they are powerful channels of divine love and protection. As we wrap up this video, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've learned together and the powerful transformation that is possible when we begin to incorporate the sacred practices of blessing our homes and ourselves with holy water. Throughout this video, we've explored the many ways we can invite God's grace and protection into our daily lives, whether it's blessing our homes, our beds, our vulnerable loved ones, or ourselves before we go out into the world. We've learned that these simple acts, when done with faith and intention, are not just rituals. They are profound spiritual tools that connect us to God's divine protection and healing. The simple act of using holy water daily can transform the atmosphere of your home. It can shift the energy, creating an environment of peace and safety where negativity cannot linger. When we bless ourselves, we acknowledge that we are the first temples of God, and in doing so, we empower ourselves to face the challenges of the world with grace, strength, and unwavering faith. Each prayer, each blessing, is a step closer to inviting God's healing presence into every aspect of our lives. This message is one of deep healing and protection, one that has the potential to change lives, one small act of faith at a time. But it doesn't stop here. The power of holy water and sacramentals is not just in the act itself, but in the relationship we cultivate with God through those acts. They are reminders that we are not alone in this world, that there is a divine presence watching over us, guiding us, and protecting us. It's through these sacred practices that we are reminded that God's love is ever present, and He is always there, ready to shield us from harm. I hope that today's video has been a source of inspiration and peace for you. If you've felt the warmth of divine protection, or if you've been moved by the simplicity of these acts and how they can make a tangible difference in your life, I invite you to show your support in a small yet meaningful way. If this message has brought light into your heart, if you feel a sense of healing and restoration, then I encourage you to share this energy with me. Your support, whether through a simple like, a subscription, or a comment, means the world to me and helps keep this channel alive, so I can continue sharing these messages of hope and protection. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps to spread this message further, allowing it to reach more souls who need to hear it. Your participation and encouragement are invaluable to me, and I am deeply grateful for each and every one of you who joins in this journey of spiritual growth. If you believe in the power of holy water and the profound impact these sacramentals can have in our lives, don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue this conversation and help each other find peace and protection through our faith. I also want to take a moment to invite you to consider the sacred gift of holy water in a new way. It's not just an object to be placed on a shelf, but a powerful tool for spiritual warfare, a shield of grace that can transform the environment of your home, your relationships, and even your own heart. Think about the ways it has the potential to heal the invisible wounds we often carry: anxiety, fear, stress, tension, and replace them with peace, protection, and divine comfort. As you go about your day, don't forget the power of this simple practice. Bless yourself each morning, bless your loved ones, your home, and your space, and watch how the atmosphere begins to shift. You will notice a difference in your mind, your soul, and your relationships as God's grace pours into every corner of your life. It's a small act, but it holds the power to bring peace into your home, protection to your loved ones, and healing to your spirit. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for being a part of this community. Your support is what keeps me going, and I am honored to continue sharing this journey with you. Let's keep spreading light, peace, and healing to everyone around us. If you found value in this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone you feel might benefit from this message. Together, we can build a sanctuary of faith and protection where God's grace surrounds us all. Thank you for being here, and may God's blessings continue to flow abundantly in your life.